Hey guys, TheAirsoftTech here, and welcome back. Today I will be reviewing the Hi-Capa Challenger by ICS. Now ICS is mostly known for their unique take on the Tokyo Marui spec AEG. Now I really like ICS. I think that they actually have a good take on that Tokyo Marui spec AEG. They innovate, but at the same time they're still pretty tech friendly, and they might require some work here and there with their hop-up chambers and their air nozzles, but overall, ICS is a really cool company, and I really like working on ICS guns, even though they might be a bit challenging for the reasons I just mentioned. Now, over the past several years, they've actually gotten into gas blowback guns, in addition to making some really cool AEGs. So today we'll be talking about one of those cool gas blowback guns. Several weeks ago, ICS reached out to me and offered to send me their newest gas blowback gun, their Hi-Capa Challenger, and obviously I said yes. Now you guys know I'm not much of a gas blowback tech kind of guy, but that still doesn't mean I can't give my honest take on a gas blowback gun, and that is what we will be doing today. The gun comes nicely and safely packaged, and upon opening the package, you're greeted by a card that has a QR code that leads you to the product manual, and then a piece of paper that warns you to use heavyweight BBs. Digging into the box, you find the Hi-Capa Challenger, the 30-round gas blowback magazine, and a little bag of extra parts. Includes a metal 14mm counterclockwise thread adapter, an extra bucking, recommended to install if you plan on using lighter weight BBs, and an Allen key, a recoil reverse plug retention clip, a cleaning rod, and a Hi-Capa sight adapter. Immediately, you see a sticker on the gun that says, please use .3 BBs or heavier for best performance. We will go ahead and take that off. Out of the box, the first thing I noticed while holding the gun is how easily it molds to my hands. It feels natural, and everything I need is easily within reach. Sliding the magazine in, the gun gains some serious weight. It feels heavier than my other gas blowbacks, but it's also quite a bit larger. Overall, the gun feels solidly constructed with the usual aluminum slide and the sturdy nylon grips. The slide racks easily and is strongly sent forward by pressing the slide release. The gun is intended to be a competition-level gas blowback pistol, and it comes loaded with accessories to match. So let's take a look at those accessories. The base of the gun features a beveled magwell for easy magazine insertion. The beveling feels a little shallow, but ultimately it still seems to help more than it hinders reloading. The base of the gun is definitely noticeably weighted by this said beveling feature. The grips definitely feel very solid. No complaints here. Coming up the base of the gun, you have a smooth actuating grip safety as well as a clicking into place slide safety. Now I have found myself accidentally bumping into this slide safety when I'm just shooting the gun, therefore putting it into semi. However, I've kind of learned to keep my thumb away from that area just enough to where this really isn't a problem anymore. The magazine release is smooth and easily within reach. It is, however, not ambidextrous and is really only built for right-handed people. The magazine goes in quietly and smoothly and barely wobbles at all when inserted and secured by the magazine release. The trigger is a straight pullback trigger and actuates well enough. The pull is neither too short or too long, in my opinion. But if you happen to find the trigger pull too short or too long for your liking, you can always take the included Allen key and adjust the trigger pull yourself. Right above the trigger, you have the slide release. It feels good enough, nothing really special or greatly special or horribly awful here. It's just a simple slide release, easily within reach of your thumb. Directly in front of the trigger housing group, you have a metal integrated rail system. Moving up to the aluminum slide. Now, it does sport a really nice black finish. However, I'm not a huge fan of the shiny black finish that a lot of gas blowbacks kind of come with, especially on the slides. I prefer a more matte black or a matte dark gray to kind of sport a two-tone look. I feel like that's where the more modern look is nowadays, but hey, that's really just a preference at this point. But overall, the slide is not bad at all. Actually, objectively, it's good. It's just the color problem and the look that I have a problem with. It has serrated grips in the back, stylized porting in the front here. We also have glow-in-the-dark front and rear sights. And in the rear, we have an RMR and DOC optics mount. Disassembly is pretty much the standard nowadays. Take the magazine out, pull the slide back until you reach that little hole in the slide there, turn the gun over and pop your slide release clean out. and that's how you take it apart. I do wish that there was like a, since you have to pop the slide release out on this side, but line up a hole on this side, I wish you could have something to line up over here so you don't have to do this back and forth game and hope you get the slide release aligned perfectly. That would be nice, but just a small little detail that I would prefer. Now for the really good news. On the inside, this gun is fully Tokyo Marui compatible. That's a huge sigh of relief for the techs like myself. Tokyo Marui is pretty much the gold standard for parts compatibility, and ICS did meet that with this gun. Internally, the gun features steel trigger mechanisms, a plastic nozzle system, a stiff steel recoil spring and guide, as well as MasterMod's pre-upgraded hop-up chamber and barrel. Further disassembly is also pretty simple, so take your retention clip here that comes with the gun, slide your recoil spring forward, exposing this little hole here for your retention clip to slide into, and that holds the recoil spring in place so that you don't have to worry about decompressing it while pulling it out of the upper slide here. And then you just slide your outer barrel forward, and then you can pull your inner barrel out, and you have your nozzle system exposed here and the thing fully disassembled. Real quick side note here, the orange tip affixed to the outer barrel does seem to be pretty stiffly in there. There's probably a small layer of glue or something. Just a fair bit of warning, it might take some effort to take off. As stated earlier, this gun is pre-upgraded with MasterMod's parts. The barrel is a nickel-plated 6.03mm inner barrel. The hop-up chamber features a TDC style system with an R-hop patch underneath. Now, the way we have traditionally understood TDC style hop-ups is that they're usually in AEGs. I'm not really sure of how many people, basically built a TDC system inside of a gas blowback pistol. I'm sure some people have, because the top-down center system is fairly superior compared to other forms of hop-up. But usually the top-down center in AEGs means that you affix an adjustment screw on top of the receiver and adjust your hop-up chamber going down from top down, hence top-down center. This one, however, you adjust from the bottom and then it pulls it down. So, it's a very similar concept to TDC, but it's a little bit different than the traditional TDC system. So it does seem really nice. It is a little bit nicer, in my opinion, than like a standard gas blowback system where you have just kind of a lever that comes down off the side and pushes and applies pressure to the bucking. And this one, like I said, seems to be superior. We will see how it performs. So overall, I really like the gun. It feels nice, it's heavy in my hands, barely anything on it's wobbly, it's clearly well constructed and functions very well. Now, aesthetically, really there's only a couple things I don't like, and I've already mentioned them. Really, that's the shiny black slide. I wish they went with more of a matte color, like a dark black, or a dark gray matte color, something not so shiny. A lot of older style gas blowback pistols kind of had this look and feel to them, and I wish they went with more of a matte, not so shiny dark color. Another thing too is the orange tip here. Well, it's plastic, right, and it's threaded on, and when I tried to just rotate it off, it immediately snapped off. I really wish a lot of airsoft gun companies would just make their orange tips metal. Makes them a lot easier to thread on and off. They're actually more reusable, they're more functional, and they don't break. So those are just two small critiques that I have right off the bat. Out of the box, the gun chronos a solid 330 FPS with a .20 gram BB, and with a .32 gram BB, the gun shoots a hot 280 FPS. Now, I chrono the gun with a .32 gram BB to kind of see how hot it would shoot with the recommended BB weight that ICS says you should use with this gun, so that you can take full effect of their RHOP pre-installed. Now, the gas mag efficiency is pretty good. I can get through the entire magazine without having any power loss or without having any cycling problems at all. Now, once you go past that 30 rounds that the magazine limits you to, you start to experience some power loss. So about 40 BBs in on a single gas magazine charge, you drop to about 314, 315 FPS, the gun still fully cycles, the slide locks back, etc., etc. You don't seem to be experiencing any other problems besides that power loss. And in my opinion, if I can get through an entire magazine without having any power loss, I consider that an efficient magazine. Other people might have higher standards than that, but to me, out of the box, this gun is performing really well. Now, I'm not going to be able to test out range and accuracy in this review video, unfortunately. I just don't live in an area that has that kind of setup for me to just go out and test, an airsoft gun, a realistic looking firearm in public. So I will be going to an indoor airsoft field this weekend, and this will be my primary gun, and I will be doing some gameplay footage with it. I expect great things from it. We'll see if the field FPS limit allows me to use a .30 gram BB. I kind of doubt it, but if they don't, I'll just swap out that bucking with the one that ICS sends along with the gun in the case in which you're not able to use anything higher than a .3 gram BB. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and big thanks to ICS for sending me their Hi-Capa Challenger to review. As always, please like this video, comment down below of your thoughts of the video in general, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more airsoft and airsoft tech related content. As always, I will see you guys in the next video of whatever the heck I'm doing, but until then, stay tuned, techs.